Welcome back. At the White House today, President Trump is meeting with California leaders who oppose our state's sanctuary state law.
But the administration is also now dealing with a monkey wrench that may have thrown into the plans for the U.S.-North Korea summit.
Joining us now from the White House is Deputy Press Secretary Shah. Raj, thanks so much for being with us.
Good morning, Raj. Now, word is North Korea is threatening to pull out of the summit. What's the White House's reaction?
Well, good morning, guys, and thanks a lot for having me on. The president has been pretty clear-eyed when dealing with North Korea and the situation. He has always said that he wants to meet with Kim Jong-un, is prepared to, and accepted the invitation for June 12th in Singapore, but he's also prepared to walk away. So we are talking and in close consultation with our allies, Japan and South Korea, as well as talking to our partners, China and others who've been involved in this, and we're going to respond accordingly. This isn't a great development, but we have limited experience with the North Korean regime, and we're going to see what our allies say, work with them, and respond accordingly.
But right now, the plans are to keep going with the summit?
Currently, yes, we're hopeful, but obviously we'll have more ongoing conversations between now and June 12th.
Another big issue today is the issue of the sanctuary state law here in California, one of the most contentious debates that we have. We have leaders, especially from Orange County, who are coming to meet with President Trump on that today. What is the White House position on that? I know you're now suing the state of California.
Yeah. Well, the Justice Department is suing. Look, there's nothing wrong with enforcing federal law. Each state can't have its own definition of what it means to follow federal law or what it means to be an American citizen or legal resident. So federal law is pretty clear that if you commit certain crimes, you should be deported. And California state law, and there's a group of municipalities and jurisdictions across the country that engage in this, flout federal law. They endanger their citizens, and they discourage public safety. We think that's wrong, and we want to publicly buck up those who stand with the federal government in enforcing federal law.
But yet there are still many law enforcement officials who say that sanctuary policy is actually good for public safety. It builds trust within the communities, and to go against it would create a lot of instability and make people less safe. What do you say?
Well, we honestly disagree. There's nothing wrong with taking individuals who commit certain criminal actions, often violent criminal actions, and deporting them. We think that makes common sense, and it frankly should have been done many years ago. The fact that this president is stepping forward and doing it shouldn't actually be all that controversial.
Okay, let's move on now to the issue of Israel and Gaza. The United States Embassy opening this week in Jerusalem. Past presidents didn't open it in Jerusalem because they were afraid that there would be violence. We saw a lot of violence after what happened this week. Is the White House in some way to blame for some of that violence in Gaza?
Of course not. The violence in Gaza is solely the responsibility of Hamas. Hamas is actually defying security protocols and sending people into harm's way. We think it's a very cynical ploy. Rather, the president's decision is courageous. It's the right decision. It's a recognition of reality. There's a reason why previous presidents have pledged to move the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem. It's because the action makes sense. It is actually Israel's capital, and we've been walking on eggshells as a matter of U.S. diplomacy for decades. This was the right move, and it makes sense.
All right, Raj, we're going to shift gears a little bit. There's been a lot of backlash regarding White House aide Kelly Sadler's insensitive comments to about Senator John McCain, and the president has said he won't tolerate leakers. Has the leaker been identified, and do you know who the leaker is?
Well, I said at the briefing on Monday that this is a matter that is internal, will be addressed internally, and I'm just not going to address it any further.
Are you the leaker?
I am not the leaker, or I don't leak confidential information. Obviously, some individuals do. It has a serious problem for morale in the White House and for the ability for people to do their jobs and communicate about policy, communicate about strategy. It is a problem, and we will address it internally.
All right, something kind of fun, which affects us here in Southern California. Kanye West has talked about the possibility of maybe a summit with President Trump. Any update on that?
I don't have any updates. I wish I could have some updates for you. I would say this, though, on a serious note. Kanye West has had the courage to step forward as part of a community that may not be as sympathetic to the president as others, and he deserves some respect and some accolades for having the courage to step forward and speak his mind.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Raj. We wish the First Lady well. Please pass on our best to her as well.
Thank you,
Thank
Raj.
you. We appreciate that.
All right.
Thank you very much.
We'll be right back.